Welcome to this video. I'm very excited about this video for a lot of reasons. And a very special welcome to you if you've come to this video and you've watched all my previous videos, because brother, you've earned it. And I mean, let's be real. A lot of you probably went and just skipped to this video because you don't give a fuck about the emergency systems bullshit. I just want to shoot a giant fuck off gun. And you know, frankly, brother, I don't blame you. It's pretty fucking cool. So yes, we're doing the gun. We're finally doing the gun. And I know I've done a gun video before, and so you should go watch that because there's some good info in there. But like, this video is going to be extremely in-depth and autistic. And I'm really excited about it. We're going to go a little out of order though, because I need to describe some things that's going to involve a real firearm, and I'm a responsible person, and I'm not going to drink bourbon or any kind of alcohol for that matter, and handle a firearm even if I'm positive it's unloaded. But anyway, without further ado, we're doing the gun. Why?
You enjoy all the killing, that's why.
So, coming to the official A10A systems manual here, what is the A10's gun? Well, the gun subsystem consists of a 7-barrel GAU-8A 30mm 8A 30mm Gatling gun, double-ended linkless feed system with a capacity of up to 1,350 rounds of percussion-primed ammunition. Most aircraft have a helix installed system drum in the assembly, which limits the system's capacity to 1,174 rounds of percussion-primed ammunition. The gun system retains all spent cases or dud rounds. The gun system is electrically controlled and hydraulically driven. The gun drive motors provide dual firing rate and are pressurized from 2 independent hydraulic systems. If one aircraft hydraulic system fails or one hydraulic motor is inoperative, low rate operation can be obtained with the operative hydraulic drive motor by selecting high rate on 82. There is no low gunfire rate. The gun rate switch is placarded high and safe. The system is safe by firing by a single safing pin, which prevents the firing pins from striking the rounds of ammunition. Yeah, okay, cool. What is it? It's a big fuck-off gun, man. What do you want? It's a giant fuck-off gun. How does it work? Well, it defeats armor by kinetic energy and a combination of kinetic energy and explosions. The explosive rounds of the A10's gun are very capable of fucking up all the delicate little bits and odds and ends on the end of a tank. When would you use the gun? Think of the gun in the A10 as kind of like your Swiss Army knife. I actually like to expend all of the munitions on my A10 before I switch to the gun because, well, for 2 reasons. The first is the dropping all the weapons off of your A10 before using the gun is going to make the A10 lighter and more nimble faster than shooting the gun. And a lot of the weapons on the A10 have very specific use cases, whereas the gun, you can use it for just about anything. The gun will fucking kill just about anything under the sun. So it's like, I like to save the gun for when I really need it because I know it's going to get the job done. What it won't work on. Brother, it's probably, I mean, I wouldn't shoot it at the front of a tank, I guess. But honestly, it's really... The gun will kill tanks, trucks, artillery pieces, helicopters, fighter jets, communists in tanks, people, buildings. It'll kill everything. It'll kill just about fucking everything, man. There's very little you can't shoot the gun with in the A10. You can shoot the gun at just about pretty much anything and have it have a good effect on target. But as you know, this wouldn't be one of my signature trademark School of Aeronautical Violence videos if we didn't go into the autistic schoolhouse part of the video. So that's all the official A10A flight manual says about the gun, believe it or not. It's that little paragraph right there. That's all you get. So that's it for that right now. We're gonna get a lot of info out of this one, but this one, just some pictures I have from a modeling book actually. It's got some pretty good shots of the gun. We're gonna switch to this bookmark over here. Yeah, it's pretty big, bro. It's a big ass gun. It's a big fucking gun. It might be the largest gun installed. It's definitely the largest gun installed in a fighter aircraft ever, that's for sure. Yeah, that tub is no joke. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, so the gun, it's positioned slightly off center such that the hell's that cat doing? It's positioned slightly off center such that the firing barrel of the gun is directly down the aircraft center line, so it's not yawing left or right. Looking at you, KA-50. It says here that the very, very top barrel of the gun is the one that fires. I don't think that's true. I believe it is the 7 o'clock barrel is the one that fires. So it's the lowest on the bore axis of the aircraft to keep recoil low. And this diagram here seems to corroborate that. As you can see, it seems as right about past 6 o'clock is where the round is actually fired from the gun. And that is also corroborated by weapons such as the Lugo Alien or, for example, the Chris Vector. Chris Vector is a very, very unique firearm. You know, I love ugly firearms that are, or ugly weapons or systems of things that are designed a specific way to do a specific thing. And the Vector is touted as having a very, very, very low recoil system. There's an empty magazine in here so I can lock the bolt back so I can show you that is unloaded. There we are. Empty magazine, empty chamber, gun is unloaded. Stick a pinky in there. No ammunition. All right, so the barrel alone, the Vector, is very, very, very low, as you can see. It's right there. And when the gun fires, the bolt actually comes back and then down and then up and back into battery. But you'll see it's actually pretty high on your shoulder and the barrel is low compared to that. And that's to keep the muzzle from rising up. The A-10's much the same. The bottom barrel is the one that fires, such that when you shoot the gun, there's going to be less recoiling moment on the A-10. So that's why I'm 99% sure it's the 7 o'clock barrel. Anyway, now that I'm done playing with firearms, let me go put that away, and we'll get to the bourbon, which, boy, do I have a special bourbon for tonight. I am super excited about this. Okay, now that I'm done handling a live firearm, we can get to the bourbon section. Now, man, this is my white whale of a bourbon. So, many, many, many moons ago, when I was in my 20s, I was rushing fighter units in the U.S. Air Force Reserves and Air National Guard. My very first unit I interviewed at was in Valdosta, Moody Air Force Base, the 76, I believe. Pretty sure it's the 76. 74th is the active one, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, there is, I don't know if it's a pilot, maintainer, someone involved in the unit makes bourbon in Valdosta. And they made 30 millimeter bourbon that's based on the A-10. And it's the coolest fucking thing ever. They even have a remove after flight tag on the bottle, which I think is the coolest thing ever. But you can only get it in Valdosta. You can't get it anywhere else. And I'm like, will you ship it to me? Like, I tried to find friends who are just like passing through to pick up a bottle and bring it home to me. But I finally had the opportunity where I was driving through Valdosta and I went to like 6 different liquor stores to finally find a bottle of this stuff. And I actually found 4 bottles of the stuff and I bought all 4. But anyway, what more of an appropriate bourbon to drink on the A-10 gun video than 30 millimeter bourbon? So, I mean, I don't have a dog in this race. I paid full price for this. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. But I mean, this is the bourbon we're doing tonight. And boy, am I fucking excited to drink it. It's hard to do with one hand. Give me 1 second. Okay. Well, it smells pretty good on the nose. Let's see how we're doing. I'm actually like nervous for this. I really hope it doesn't suck. I really don't want it to suck. Cheers, guys. I saw, I think a day or two, the very last A-10 of Davis Monthan was being refueled by the oldest tanker in the Air Force's inventory on its way to the boneyard. So, to the A-10. Pour a little out for him. Here's to you guys. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's no Blanton's, but it's not bad. I'm definitely not sorry I bought it. It almost tastes like just like a more of a whiskey than a bourbon, but it's got cranberry. I taste cranberry, a little bit of cranberry. Yeah. I've got 2 bottles of batch 6 and 2 bottles of batch 2. Maybe I'll crack the batch 2 barrel or bottle rather and see how that tastes. But anyway, what better of a bourbon to drink for tonight? So let's get on with the video. So a couple design features of the gun. We already talked about the bore axis. It's got a scoop just below it. This is just below the barrel to try and ingest as many of the gases as possible to stop them from going into the engines, even despite all that, the A-10 still can have engine surges when firing the gun. Pulling the trigger in the cockpit for the gun does three things, actually, if you're firing it in its normal configuration. It engages PAC 2, which is Precision Attitude Control 2, which pitches the aircraft down to compensate for recoil. It turns on the igniter plugs in the engines to guard against a flame out, and it lastly fires the gun, obviously. There's three flavors of ammunition for the A-10's gun. You've got you know it, you love it, everyone talks about it, depleted uranium shells, which are armor-piercing incendiary. They're made of, depleted uranium. But the reason they've selected depleted uranium, I don't know if depleted uranium's harder than tungsten or not, but that's actually not the reason why they made the bullets out of depleted uranium. The reason they made them out of depleted uranium is because when you think of like a lead bullet impacting something hard, like imagine shooting a lead bullet into a block of tungsten, that lead bullet's going to just flatten out and mushroom out because it's soft, right? So that's not what depleted uranium does when it hits things. Depleted uranium actually self-ablates when it hits things. That means it self-sharpens. So as the round hits the armor and goes through, it tends to get sharper and form into a sharper point as it cuts through the armor. So that's the reason the A-10's gun fires depleted uranium. Well, it used to. I'll get to that in a second. The second flavor is high explosive incendiary. And the last one is target practice, which is just inert and used for, target practice. To my knowledge, the A-10 has not fired a depleted uranium round in a long, long time. Not since the 1990s, if I'm not mistaken. The A-10A was used to great effect in Desert Shield, Desert Storm to kill all sorts of vehicles, tanks, trucks, scud launchers, missiles, or missile launching things, all kinds of bullshit. But in today's modern war, where the A-10's being used almost exclusively in the close air support role, in the capacity of just blowing up trucks and people who are shooting at our troops, loading it up with 1,150 rounds of high explosive incendiaries, more than enough to get the job done. You don't really need armor-piercing rounds when you're shooting some guy who's just dressed in a bunch of rags and has an AK, and that's all the armor he's got. So, speaking of, just to give you an idea of the A-10's round size, here's you, and here's the guy she tells you not to worry about. This is a common 9mm round that you'd find in any gun, and this is a 3D printed round the A-10's gun would fire. I mean, it's not the only 30mm round out there. The Apache shoots a 30mm round as well. The Apache round, though, however, is a lot shorter. The 30mm is referring to the diameter of the bullet itself, not the shell casing, and it has nothing to do with the length of the overall round. They talk about how they are the size of Red Bull cans. This is a Topo Chico can, which is my drink of choice for my better half. But, yeah, it's roughly the size. Maybe a little smaller, but it's roughly the size of a Red Bull can. Red Bulls are 12 ounces, right? I don't drink Red Bull. I'm a Monster guy myself, but anyway, you get the idea. It's a big fuck-off round. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. The rate of fire for the A-10's gun is 3,900 to 4,000. I've heard a couple of things. 4,100, 4,200 rounds per minute. I guess the A model A-10 once upon a time could select a low fire rate. I've never seen anything about that. I never really got into the A-10A. The C certainly isn't capable of doing that I'm aware of. And then a combat mix is, I've heard 4-to-1 and 5-to-1 of armor-piercing incendiary to high explosive is the mix. So it's very rare to see the A-10 carry nothing but, if it ever did even, it might not have ever done this, carried nothing but API rounds, the depleted uranium rounds. All the time, though, the A-10 is carrying the high explosive incendiary rounds exclusively, and we'll get more into that when we're actually flying the sim. And as for the target practice rounds, I have a very, very, very special treat for you guys. You would not believe the lengths of insane detail I'm going to go into now. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done for a video. I'm super excited. Let's go do it.
Yes, that's right. I have installed Digital Combat Simulator A10C Warthog. No. I have not installed, well, I do have installed, obviously, Digital Combat Simulator World A10C module. No, my friend. This is DCS A10C. We're talking old school. We're talking second module released by Eagle Dynamics after Digital Combat Simulator Black Shark came out. Now, why did I do this? Well, I'll tell you. It's because way back in the day, they had target practice rounds that actually had tracers on them. And the reason they had this was because, well, DCS had this was because they saw a video of an A10 shooting the target practice rounds in the rain, and it looked like they had tracers, and so they added tracers to the actual bullet trails in DCS. And then later, some point later in the simulator's development, they removed them because the gun doesn't actually have tracer rounds. This is erroneous. But I installed Digital Combat Simulator A10C MurderHawg so that we can go in there and actually see the tracer rounds coming out of the gun, so you can get an idea of what the bullet velocity looks like and what that looks like from the HUD of the aircraft, so you can have an idea of the big picture of what it looks like to see the rounds coming out of the gun from the cockpit. I'm a big picture kind of guy, and being able to see this kind of thing is important in my opinion. So we're going to hop into Digital Combat Simulator A10C MurderHawg and check it out. Oh man, this music takes me back. I'm not sure how long you guys have been. I first played this back in 2011, I think. I don't even know when it came out, honestly, but like, God, this takes me back. This fucking takes me back, man. Whew. Oh my God, where do they even make the fucking mission? It's in here somewhere. I swear I prepped a mission for this. There it is. Alright, cool. Let's run it. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit of our A10C MurderHawg. Oh God, I'm so fast. Alright. And there it is. There's our guns. I'm flying with the fucking keyboard right now. So, target practice rounds, TP 1150. There you can see the gun bore sight. And there you can see the AMAS line right there. That little line is where the gun rounds will roughly be 2 seconds after firing. That's why it moves as we pitch up and pitch down. So that's what 70 rounds a second of 30mm looks like. Tracers don't last very long, do they? But so you can imagine if you're dogfighting something, how much lead you have to actually give something. The velocity on them is actually roughly similar to the M60 Vulcan. But despite the rounds being pointed, it's actually 41 milliradians, pointed at this, they're actually winding up a little lower. I find when I'm lining up aerial targets, putting the target somewhere between the AMAS line and the gun bore sight works out pretty well for me. Let's roll in on something on the ground here. Let's try and roll in on something on the ground here. Again, I'm flying with the fucking keyboard right now, so give me a break. Let's go for this like house right here, I guess. Come on, you can do it.
Pull up! Pull up!
You can kind of see it.
Altitude! Altitude!
Alright, enough of this fucking bullshit. Let's get in the goddamn aircraft. Hey everyone, Solace here with Bourbon and DCS. In today's MurderHawg School of Aeronautical Violence video, we're going to hate fuck something to death with a 30mm fuck-off cannon. Let's get started. Well, a little bit of a secret here. I don't actually write the scripts for this stuff. I shoot it all off the hip and I just kind of just ramble autistically about these things. So we're going to do it live because you know how much I love doing things live. So we're going to take off and we got some targets downrange that we're going to shoot at with the gun. I'm going to show you a basic gun profile and reticle usage and details, and then I'm going to come back and rearm and show you the IFC menu, and then we're going to take off and use non-pack use of the gun, as well as shoot a fucking helicopter because, well, fuck it, why not? Anyway, let's have some fun. Gears up, flaps up. Lights are off. Alright, so this
targets are over here somewhere. Where did I fucking put them? Where's the helicopter? The targets are over that way. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to enable gun arm. I'm sorry, that's the laser. Gun arm, master arm. There they are. Master mode to guns. Now you can see the upper dot is going to be the API depleted uranium shells, and the lower dot is going to be the HEI high explosive incendiary. And the reason for this is, why did I no flash in here? The reason for that is the API shells retain their velocity better, so they have a flatter trajectory than the HEI shells do. So we'll do a basic pop-up attack against these couple of trucks here. We'll see how many we can get in one run. And then I've got an older tank, a newer tank, and an even newer tank, and we'll see how they go. Alright, so first things first.
Pull up, pull up.
Remember, pull to the tone. If you're not hearing that tone, you're not flying the A-10 hard enough.
Pull up, pull up.
Okay, so you're going to put the target along your 3 or 9 o'clock line. And when you're ready to begin your attack, you're going to pull. Gain some altitude. You want your targets about the 30-degree line. Or roll in. This is a little shallow, but it'll still get the job done. Line up that cursor. Range is 1.5 to a quarter mile. Pack 1. Guns. 2 seconds to combat burst, and we're off.
Pull up. Altitude.
Never,
altitude.
ever, ever overfly your targets. That is the cardinal rule of gun runs in an A-10. Do not overfly your targets. Say it with me. Do not fucking overfly your targets. Why? That's a great way to get shot in the ass. So let's do it again. 2 miles max range. Let's see if I can get the next 2 targets in one run here. And we're off.
Pull up, pull up.
That was a T-55, and that's the second target I shot there.
Altitude, altitude.
Let's not crash into these trees. Keep it low, though.
Pull up, pull up.
Every single turn I make here, I'm basically throwing the stick to the limiter. Because once again, I'm flying the A-10 to its max limit. I can't stress that enough. Let's not hit this power line here, but... Alright. Let's come around. Let's make believe we're not in combat anymore for a second here. And let's go ahead and position ourselves in front of one of those tanks, and we can see how shitty the gun is at hitting a tank's frontal armor. Let me reposition you for a second, real quick. Okay. So, well, let's verify real fast. Alright, they all kind of moved around, so I've damaged that T-55, but this T-80 is still frontal and this T-90 is still frontal. So let's shoot that T-80 real fast. So the T-80 should be that target right there. Alright, showtime. This is close enough to frontal. 1.5 miles, 1.6 miles, let's see. Taking hits. So I eventually did get him, but you saw how shitty that was? I used, what, fucking 700 rounds of 30mm and didn't even get 1 tank kill? Now, let's go take a look at this T-90 right here. Let's shoot him in the ass, and you'll see how fast we'll take him out. So let me reposition real fast. And we'll come from an even steeper angle, too. Just to concentrate those rounds. Alright, let's hate fuck this T-90 to death. Oh, nothing makes me happier than popping fucking Soviet armor. Well, I guess the T-90 is technically not Soviet. It was probably developed in the 90s after the Soviet Union collapsed, but technically speaking, this is the correct dive angle for the gun. 30-degree bank, or I'm sorry, 30-degree pitch angle of dive. Well, let's see if we can get this guy with less than 300 rounds at 30 mic. I'm going to fire at 0.7.
Pull up, pull up.
Got him.
Altitude, altitude.
Took me 200 rounds, maybe a little more than I needed, but definitely popped that shell. He's fucking toast. I wonder if we can get that T-55 with a little bit of ammunition I have left. Let's give it a shot. Alright, where's that T-55 at? I can't really see too well because of the smoke. So I'm going to come off and come back around. There you are. That's it, Winchester. But we got him!
Altitude, altitude.
So there you have it. Let's return to where the fuck did I take off? Kutaisi, Kubleti, whatever the fuck it is. And let's rearm the gun and talk about the FC for a second. I have reset the mission just for posterity. And we are going to rearm and refuel. And we're going to put high explosive incendiary in there. And let's just say we only want 80% gun rounds. Yeah, 80%.
Request rearming.
Okay, rearming's complete. So, we come down here for the FC, put it into test. Now, let's take a look at a couple things here. We're going to use the select, come down to weapons, enter, 30mm. So it still says combat mix, even though we know we loaded HEI. So we're going to go ahead and change that to, ammo type. Change the data to switch that to HEI. There's the ammo manufacturer, but we're not going to change that. It's not modeled in game. Pack 1 POS mode, that's fine. Min altitude's fine. Rounds. Oh, they auto change the rounds for us. So 80% of 1,150 is 920. So they changed the round for us, but you can manually re-enter the rounds there. So we're going to hit store. There we go. Now we come back to on. And now we're going to go kill these fucking trucks. Guns. Arm everything up here. Alright, so for the gun, I believe it's this switch. Yes, so with the gun arm and pack, you can place it to gun arm, which no longer has pack. We'll also see we only have one singular dot now for where the HEI rounds will land. But with the gun arm set to gun arm instead of pack, we no longer have any precision attitude control, which pitches the aircraft down to compensate for recoil. And that's just the way we want it. Because what we're going to do is you see a long column of trucks over there. We're going to go ahead and try and run this, use the recoil of the gun to run up this column of trucks and see if we can't take these trucks all in one go. So let's see if we can pull it off. Interestingly enough, Growling Sidewinder likes to do this in his videos, but he does it in pack, and so the A-10's trying to stop the recoil from going up, whereas we're going to have it turned off so the recoil helps us. Also, since you're using explosive rounds and you've got splash damage, you might be better off firing from a longer range because the spread's actually going to help us here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how that worked out. Dead, 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 dead. Actually, only got... Jesus Christ, we got all of them, didn't we? I thought we didn't get any of them. We got literally all of them. Holy fuck, I love the A-10. Oh, no! One got away! Oh, that's so frustrating. I thought I got them all for a second. Nah, well, you can't win all of them. That truck's the luckiest fucking truck in the world. He's just like,
Downey's Winter Wonderland.
that's okay, got a little something for him. Let's line this up. And, boop, little dab will do ya. Now he's dead. Alright, where did the helicopter go? So with helicopters, the worst thing you can do is attack them head on, like I'm doing right now. His AI is set not to react, so he's not going to shoot at me. Ow. Or is he? No, that's from one of the tank. God, good shot, tank. You don't want to attack them head on or from the same co-altitude. You want to be above them. The reason for that is because their guns point down, so helicopters have a hard time shooting you when you're above them. So, we're going to climb here, and we're going to come around, and we're going to shoot them from above. Which, I'm not going to go too depth in this. I've already shot helicopters in several of my videos, so... Again, the whole thing I want to emphasize here, though, is just the whole where the gun rounds actually are between the line and the muzzle, right there. That should take him out. Yep, he's done.
Pull up. Pull
It's
up.
that simple. That's the kind of a sight picture you want to see when shooting a helicopter. That above the rotor disc type situation. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. Well, okay, alright. There's one thing we haven't covered, and that is the fixed gun reticle, which is a pain in the ass. I've never actually attempted it, so let's attempt it. So there's the gun cross, and there's the fixed reticle. The fixed reticle is designed to... God, I'll put the data up on screen here, but basically it's just a fixed, like... It's optimized for certain slant ranges and whatnot. Maybe. Kinda. Well, I hit him. So, you can kind of use it like an iron sight. But really, if you're using the fixed reticle... You see why you never overfly your targets? I just got shot in the ass. Really, it's designed to be used as a backup. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what system you want to see next, or what weapon you want to see next, because I intend to go into... Look at the dead helicopter. I intend to go into autistic detail about all the weapons in the A10 until I've done every single goddamn one of them. Anyway, I don't give a fuck if you like or subscribe. And stay aeronautically violent. That's my new catchphrase. What do you think? Stay What the hell's going on out there? Oh, it's just the city. Anyway, catch you next time. That's all. Bye-bye.